You may have heard of birth doulas and death doulas, but have you ever heard of a trauma doula? Well, that's me. My name's Toni, and I'm the trauma doula, and this is your place to heal trauma, body, and soul. Thank you so much for joining the Trauma Doula podcast, and welcome back. If it's your first time, again, thanks for being here. And if it's not your first time, hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the show. So this week we are talking about the solar plexus chakra, or the Manipura chakra. So the Manipura chakra, or chakra, holds its space, holds its energy within that space around your belly button. If you ever hear people talk about feeling things in their stomach or their tummy, things like that, is where your solar plexus or your Manipura chakra resides energetically, okay? And the color of the solar plexus chakra is yellow. So yellow like the sun. It is nice and bright. It's a beautiful space of confidence and self-esteem. When we're talking about the solar plexus, where do you draw your self-esteem from? What about your sense of purpose and confidence about who you are and what you do in the world? What do you think you have to be good at to get attention and acceptance from others, including yourself? I'm going to run that back again. What do you think you need to do? Who do you think you need to be in order to get acceptance, to be seen by others, to be deemed as good or worth something? Does your esteem come from external factors? I notice when people have that injury around their solar plexus chakra in that early childhood trauma space, they tend to get their confidence from other people. They tend to have a deep self-esteem wound and a lack of self-esteem, even a lack of an ability to. So something that I've recognized in people who are unbalanced in this place, let's just talk about it from your body standpoint. Do you find yourself feeling nauseous? Do you find yourself feeling anxious? Maybe you feel like you have a pit in the bottom of your stomach. In the place where people describe feeling butterflies and gut feelings is right in the place where you have that solar plexus energy. That's where the solar plexus resides. And so when you think about this space, when you feel into the trauma that this space can hold, it's the core of your body. If you think about your whole body and your tummy in that spot, it is your core. And something about the core is, it's central, it's centralized. It holds everything together. But not only does it hold everything together, it's the space where you find strength. If you have a weak core, as some people say in like the fitness world, your whole posture changes. Your ability to hold yourself up. People who have those weak cores and weak sense of self, weak sense of self-esteem, you tend to have back pain a lot because you're carrying around all the expectations that other people have on you and you're holding them as your own. But your own sense of self-esteem doesn't have a place to bloom and grow and thrive when you have other people's expectations sitting in your core, sitting in your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is like, it's the space between, okay, so think about it like this. The next chakra is the heart chakra, which starts to get into soul development. We've gone through the first three chakras, which is the root, the sacral, and now, today, the solar plexus. we always think of the bottom three chakras as the earth chakras. These are the things that are deeply physical. They anchor our body into the earth, into the world. Our sense of self is the thing that we put out there. People meet our sense of self. People meet our self-esteem. People meet our confidence. It's something that people can feel when they meet you. They know it, they feel it, they see it. And so when you've had that childhood trauma and the trauma in the solar plexus chakra, this is where people pleasing comes in significantly. Because again, you feel like to have self-worth, you have to please, and you have to please other people. You have to do what they need you to do because your validation is from the external. Okay? So the solar plexus chakra is deeply important for us to move on into those transpersonal spiritual chakras that get us in towards our soul purpose, our soul development, so that we can really start to trust and know ourselves. And this is the space where the thing about coming into yourself from this place of your solar plexus, from the place of finding your confidence, finding your core, recognizing who you are and putting that out into the world and trusting in yourself, versus the wounded inner child who is in this weakened solar plexus state, who's in this weakened self-esteem state, recognizes that if they didn't do certain things for people, that they would be shamed, that they would be guilt-tripped, that they would be ridiculed, criticized, that they might even be harmed physically if you've had that type of childhood. And many of us have. And many of us have. So as you start to think about trauma in the solar plexus, recognize that this is the place where you set boundaries. Your solar plexus is where you set boundaries. It is the place where you begin to say, you know what? This is my sense of self. I don't want to be enmeshed with this toxic, emotionally immature family system. This is the place of I am deciding who I am. I am deciding where I derive my confidence, my self-worth, my self-love from. And this is that first place where we start to feel that self-love. Again, it's the in between the heart chakra and the sacral chakra. Remember that space of pleasure and feeling good simply for the sake of feeling good, just because you like something. But you have to have confidence and self-esteem in yourself and not derive all of your life satisfaction from other people and external factors in order to be able to receive and do things that you find genuinely pleasurable just for the sake of yourself. You have to feel and recognize that you are worthy enough to receive what makes you feel good. And again, it's that in-between space. It's that core. So when you think of the solar plexus chakra, recognizes your sense of self-worth, your sense of even self-love, self-recognition. It's the place that kind of helps you go get what you want. But if you don't think you're worthy of something, right? That sense of self, if you don't believe you're worthy of something, your sense of self will never kick in. That motivation will never kick in for you to be able to get up and go after what you want, simply because you want it, not because someone else told you it's something you should want. As you're healing the traumas of the solar plexus, you're going to start to set boundaries. You're going to start to look for things
that build your confidence. You're going to start thinking about things you're good at, maybe even, and doing those things that you're good at. And maybe the things you're good at aren't things that you got praised for from other people. Maybe you're a good writer and you've hidden your writing your whole life. You've never even let anyone read your writing. You're excellent. You know you're good. This is where that solar plexus chakra comes in. This is where that wound comes in too. That wounding of not good enough, not enough. That not enoughness, that feeling of unworthiness is a solar plexus chakra trauma that often comes in childhood. And it is especially potent when you have experienced a lot of verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is deep in the solar plexus wound, in the solar plexus trauma, because verbal abuse generally goes against your sense of self. It generally says, you know what? You're nothing, you'll never be anything, you never amount to anything, you're not good at anything, you never do anything right. And if you're hearing this and you're getting a little bit triggered or a little bit like, right? That goes all to your sense of self, your sense of who you are. And because of what other people said to you, whether those are caregivers, parents, teachers, it does not matter. You have taken those words on as if they are your own. And they get held in that energetic space of the solar plexus chakra. And it causes this imbalance there. It causes this poisoning of the space where you are supposed to have the utmost confidence in yourself, in your abilities. I am worthy. I'm worthy of whatever I want, whatever I desire. I'm worthy of that. I don't need to do anything to be worthy of being happy, being joyful, being present, being alive, being found. There is nothing you need to do to be worthy. Sign up for the newsletter for those healing bites on actionable tools towards healing, and look out for the trauma recovery yoga experience, which will be coming available this fall as a membership.